but not on that. I wanted two-person teams, and it was the beauty of being able to open a new school. But I'm a stickler about it. It's fun.
It's very hard for me to get back to two-person teams right now because mine are used to teaching one content, and they are content specialists. And y'all, it's taking it. When you look at our test results, when you look at the disaggregated data and show how we have closed these achievement gaps, we couldn't have done it without content specialists. I promise you we couldn't have. But we took a school where 2% of the kids in special ed were passing math. 2% of them. I mean, it was horrible. Nobody was looking at anything. And so it was, we were looking, but not together. All right, let's move to social equity and get that real quick. Here's what we put for social equity. I put the heterogeneous classes with all teachers gifted indoors. Nightly behavior, because there's something on there about discipline. Nightly behavior is that EBIS, PBS, positive behavior system, where we teach them how to, they get night bucks for positive behavior. You recognize it, and so all children get a response for having good behavior. And they do all kind of things. They can trade them in, like mine do karaoke at lunchtime on Friday. If they want to turn in the night bucks for that, they can do that. They can come to a dance group for 30 night bucks. But it takes a while to get 30 night bucks. 6th grade mini camp is what Elizabeth put in the Webster Awards. We have something nightly awards, but hers are academics, arts, athletics, and altruism. We do all of that too. So I want you to look at the social equity, because now this is what hurt that school that I was in this year. It was, they had an awesome program for the gifted and talented. I mean, it was incredible. But the special ed children, it wasn't there. And even the regular ed children, it was not engaging on worksheets. But now what they were doing with the others is what they have to do with the rest of them. And y'all, if you can do it with those students, you can do it with others. When we changed from homogeneous to heterogeneous that first year, I didn't get my gifted list out because we had changed over to a different student information system. It wasn't on purpose, but it was one of those things that God's looking after you and it takes care of itself. I didn't get it out in 3 weeks. My 6th grade teachers were stunned at who the gifted students were and who the low performing students were. They were stunned because they had thought some of my average kids were my gifted kids, and some of my gifted kids were problem learners. So it's your whole approach. And it did throw my gifted students, because they've been used to being pulled out, and they still are at the elementary. It throws them to first get in there. But in 8th grade, I went back. This is another time God was looking after me. I went back and I added an advanced algebra class. The kids at the end of the year that were in that class that for 2 years prior to that had been in heterogeneous grouping told me, when they write me a little note about what to do, Miss Dean don't have the smart classes next year. Miss Dean don't have smart classes, because that's what they call them, smart classes. And what it is that when you put them all together, there's still just 2 or 3 leaders that come out of that. But when you separate them all the way across those classes, they all shine. And it creates so many leaders within your school.
Social equity, number 5 is the multicultural aspect.
Right. You probably have a much greater opportunity.
I mean, they've got one on media center materials. Are they multicultural? Cultures of all the students. That one's kind of a no-brainer.
Right. Then on the next page you have the school community knows every student well. Well, that's, you can move. Now, y'all, you can move some of this. All of it bleeds into one another. You can put advisee over here, where somebody knows everyone very well, or you can put it under developmentally responsive.
This is where your discipline comes in, though. Number 10.
That's where I put the nightly behavior.
Yeah.
As number 10.
And if you've got a school that's got lots and lots of discipline issues, that's got to be gotten under control before you get a school of excellence. I mean, before you get Lighthouse.
Your culture has to be right.
Yeah, you got to get them ready.
You're going to get it ready by studying together and becoming a family. You really are. You're going to get that commitment and whatever it takes. could be your motto, because you gotta do whatever it's gonna
Is there
take.
such thing as a lighthouse school that
Nationally, from the National
there
Forum, there's
advisory?
schools to watch.
is there like, for instance, if there's a school that's really interested in becoming a lighthouse, am I using the terminology correctly? A
There's
lighthouse
not an
school?
advisory group.
There's, okay.
But we do work with,
You can kind of, if you know you're going to apply, you can call into hockey and get a mentor.
right,
And it's somebody who's been in the White House.
if you think you're close. But now, like Atlanta,
They won't help you with this originally. You know, you gotta have your
study
report
it,
written
figure it
out,
out.
and they'll take a look at it and go, you need some more stuff here.
But now, your district office did talk a little bit about, I know they mentioned it to me and they mentioned to her working with some of y'all next year.
All right, has anybody else got anything? I know, are you here for this,
Yes.
the evaluation, so we need to.
All right, so we have just a few minutes, we're gonna do the next one.
Social equity.
Social equity is coming, then we're gonna look at organizational structures and processes. And I'm gonna talk while Liz was putting that up, because we've got about 4 minutes. Let me tell you one thing I do that I've spoken I've spoken across the country on this, and people are always interested in it, so if you are, I'll help you with it. But I have 2 leadership teams that operate. Now, there are a lot of leadership opportunities in my school for teachers, but I have 2 leadership teams. I have the one that does the management, the team leaders, and then I have my steering that does all school improvement. And so it keeps us separated, keeps us structured. My team leaders handle just what's going to be the day-to-day running of that school. But then your school improvement team would handle that action plan. And when they have to bleed together, sometimes I bring them together, but it's a big old group, and usually there's some that cross over anyway. I put the NMSA 2 kids self-study here because you should be studying. What's it say up there
Social
about?
equity, so let's change it, yeah.
All right. Where did I put that? No, it's the school is number 3 is where NMSA 2 kit would go. The school is a community of practice in which learning, experimentation, and reflection are the norm. That's what I was telling you about. You've got to constantly be wanting to learn, and it takes the principal support for this.
Yeah, number two in this organizational structure is all about the principal. And I can remember the first time we went through it, I felt like I was on the hot seat.
I know.
They were asking me everything. The principal had to know everything. And it was a good thing because they had some stuff wrong, and they were asking me, they said the 8th grade teachers don't know the discipline cycle, and I said, what? The 8th grade teachers do know the discipline cycle. Oh yeah, they do. And were you on my team?
No,
Okay.
but I think Jeff was.
Anyway, so I felt like we weren't going to get it, or we were going to get it based on my response. I felt the weight of the world on me. So principals, number 2 is about you.
It is, and it's about the leadership, the shared leadership.
And if you don't have a good team, this is organizational structure.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you, my connections team, that was the one that took me the longest to get happy. And my connections team, like, killed me on the second one. Not my first redesignation. They got in there and were all negative about some stuff.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to have your naysayers.
Yeah.
Because this is a whole lot more work. I mean, you can tell Patsy and I could talk about our schools all day long.
We could.
We could.
And I'll help you with anything we can help you with.
And teachers at our schools have to work harder.
Yeah, they do.
There's no question. They can go to another school and not work nearly as hard as it Red Bridge or Upstate.
And I have to work a lot. I don't know about Elizabeth, but I have to work a lot. Because of that, I have to work a lot on making everybody feel good. We have a celebration committee.
We do too.
And I have to work very hard on making them feel appreciated, and that everything they're doing is worth it, that they're doing it for the right reasons. And I'm not a naturally pat you on the back kind of person. If you do something great, I'm going to come tell you. If you're doing your job, I'm just going to say, good morning, how you doing today? Thank you for what you did. But I'm not going to come and single you out. Well, they get where they want that. So I have to do that with individual notice and things like that. So that's a huge part of the principal's role in this, and the leadership team too. It shouldn't all fall to the principal. But look at here. Where do you see that you have it? Academic excellence. Most schools are going to be. But what you want to do as you go through here, because if you don't have, it doesn't have to necessarily be a balance, but if it's not strong in those other three, one of those can knock you out. I don't care how good this one is. A school that did not get redesignated the year I did, and we both got it together, and when we went back through our redesignation, y'all, they have 98% on their scores. 98% is an Asian majority school. They didn't get it on redesignation, but they said when they walked through that school, nobody was teaching. Teachers were behind the desk. Test scores still look good, but the test scores won't give it to you. You got to be doing the rest of it too. The test scores can keep you, I guess, in a way. I mean, you got to be showing growth. That's the biggest thing. Is you got to be showing student achievement.
But it's an attitude, it's an atmosphere, it's a culture that you have of doing what's right for children. You've got to have enthusiasm, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't have enthusiasm for these little quirky middle schoolers.
Every decision we make at my school, and I always tell the teachers, and we keep coming back to this, every decision we make is, no matter how much work it is on us, or how much I may tick somebody off at the central office, we're going to make the decision that's right for these children. Now, you got to have happy teachers to have happy students, so you have to look after your teachers too, and your staff. But everybody values everyone else in the school to watch. I truly feel that way, that we turn to each other, we help each other. Like if I see a part of my school that I don't feel like is quite as excellent as the rest of it is, that's the part I'm going to work with to see if we can't bring that one up to the same excellence. So we've done, jokingly, when I said that a while ago, we've done quite a bit of work with our PE department to come back and work on they're using thinking maps. We're really big on thinking maps. And they've helped us raise up their schools thinking maps have, so that's something we might have to look at too. Alright.
Okay, we're finished.
Are there any final questions before we let you do your evaluation? Any final questions? Thank you.